understand
That is from Rasta. He won blood, and he will get the Starboy ball easy way. Well, he wants a deja vu actually for his ADC as he gets late and opened up with an extended signal arrow. Duel is his kill rate.
That's gets the kill. There is the 3-man shopping. 21-point lead ultimate. Explosive cast plus the Howling Gale. That is a double kill. Sarah will.
And right, Glenn will just be one shot after that. Blizzard eyeing Kanako here, iconic as well. This will be a triple. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Lenovo Law Collegiate League 2017 Spring Term Interconference Series. Very sorry for the long delay. There were some technical difficulties we had to smooth out, but now we are on air. We'll be postponing the first match scheduled, which was SLU versus DLSUT Green Patriots versus UP The Oblation Esports. Now we'll be having University of Caloocan City Ninja Turtles versus St. Louis University's Volt. Of course, we'll be your shoutcasters. I'm Atlas, and everyone, welcome, Rockhart.
Thank you, and it's very nice to be here. I am very happy to be part of this cast for the LCL, and we'll see. We'll try to have fun games today.
I think we will have fun games today. This is Group D, and we'll be having Group D games today. And today, it will be decided which team will get out of Group D into the semifinals. Of course, coming to the schedule here, and rather the standings. Right now, DLCUD Green Patriots is leading at 4 points, but the thing is that they've already finished 2 matches. So they have 3 wins and 1 loss. There was a 2-0 and then a 1-1, so their score is 4 points. So UPD, with their single 2-0, will be at 3 points. And SLU, who is also finished only 1 match, is at 1 point after a 1-1. UCC has had 2 matches already, which are both 0-2, so they are now standing at no points.
That's right. And this is going to be a great day for DSLUD. They're going to have a great chance in representing the group in these coming interconference.
They have to be careful,
semifinals. They're going to have to be very careful. They can't let their guard down at all, because this is still any man's game between the 3 teams. For UCC, not as much, because they're 0-4. Even if they sweep 2 games in this series, they are going to be 2-4.
It's going to be 3 points maximum for them.
That's right.
The best chances are for DLCUD and UPD. UPD already has a 2-0 setup for them. So if they can get more wins in their 2 matches today, they can potentially reach even 9 points.
Yeah, they're going to secure that. They're going to secure it almost definitely. Although, you cannot let your guard down. SLU can still get back in this game, but they are going to be climbing an uphill battle.
Yeah,
this is
going to be 2-0s if they want to get to semifinals.
And against these top caliber teams from the Group D, that's going to be a tough game. But hey, this is League of Legends. Anything can happen.
Definitely, even Titans can fall in League of Legends. In UPD, though, they do have a good chance, but DLSUD, with the strong lead that they've already have,
that is huge.
That's huge, actually.
Huge
if they have a 2-0 against UP later, it's going to be very difficult. It will be impossible for UP to get out of semis, get into semis. But of course, all of that will play out after the day. The first match for today will be UCC Ninja Turtles versus SLU Deus Volt. Coming into this, UCC no longer has a chance of getting to semis, but I don't expect them to be a slouch in their games.
Right, and you might not be in the running for the top candidates, but you can still give us a great game. And it's props to UCC for still going at it, even though, again,
they're not defaulting.
Yeah, they're not defaulting, and that's the spirit of the players. They want to stay in the game. They want to give us great matches, and they're going to represent their school, and they're going to try to give us a fun day today.
Definitely. What's going to happen here is that even though UCC might not have a chance, maybe their game plan here is to, okay, we're out of semis, might as well take someone with us, because they do have, they still have some games later against UPD and now against against SLU.
Yeah.
So that might be their mindset coming to this game. So that might be the one motivating them, and a lot of the pressure is lifted from them.
That's right, and that goes on a two-way street. On one end, no pressure. You can have fun games. You can pick anyone you want. You can go for comfort. You can go for these really crazy champions like maybe the Zac that we were talking about earlier off camera. There was like really fun to play with kidnap skills. You know the updated Zac, right? It's really great to play. On the other end, you also don't want to be too complacent and to like fall flat on your face. That's something you want to avoid. So UCC still gonna have to keep that pace up.
The most important thing is that these teams should learn from every game coming into this Interconference series. So let's get into the drafting phase of UCC Ninja Turtles versus SLU Deus Vault. We're going to go into our pick and ban phase. Of course, for the Interconference series, we'll be going with our 10-ban system. So let's get into it.
So we have 2 bans here for UCC locked in. They have a Vladimir and this is a new champion.
It's going to be Ivern. Ivern has been pick or ban for a lot of these games.
That's right.
In the national scene because of how annoying he is.
That's true. And the way that Ivern works so well when your support picks a Karma. And
so many shields.
Yeah, and then sometimes you can see international teams also picking a Lulu mid at some point. Shield comps have been a big thing in the past 7.9 patches. Not so much today, because on this patch 7.10, a lot of changes were made.
A lot of changes definitely into the items of the champions, but still, you know, shield compositions like that are possible. We still see people prioritizing the Lulu, the Karma. Here, UCC is prioritizing the Karma, while SLU banned out the Lulu. Seems like there's a lot of jungle bans this game.
That's true. And
Ivern, Kha'Zix, on the other hand, SLU is banning out the Gragas, which can flex, and the Elise.
Yeah, the jungle pickings here for both teams are starting to slim out. Not as much like you remove the Gragas, remove the Elise. That's a lot of jungle picks out. Both junglers here are gonna have a great. You're gonna need like a really big pool in order to make your way out of this one.
Seems like UCC will be prioritizing the Karma, then SLU is going for that Lucian and Nami.
That's right.
I'm kind of surprised that UCC did not ban out the Fiora, because Vince does one-trick that Fiora.
Yeah, you saw that last
huge
game.
threat.
That was great. He basically 1v4'd a lot of people. He was flying left and right, and I don't know. There's still 2 bans left, so we'll see what happens.
We're gonna see, we're gonna see if SLU will actually pick that in their first rotation. Now, it seems like both teams are prioritizing their bot lanes here.
We have open bot lanes right now, like UCC, opting for that long-range Caitlyn, still relatively safe.
Very safe, especially with the Karma.
That's right. And although Karma can flex middle maybe.
Middle, top.
Have you seen Splinter play Karma middle yet?
No, we haven't seen Splinter play a lot of Karma. Yeah. It is possible though that they'll bring it out in this game. After all, the pressure is lifted from them. Seems like Antares will be picking up that Syndra. Lots of burst coming from that. So lots of damage coming from SLU's composition here. UCC no slouch as well. Coming into our second banning phase, Antares will not be wanting to deal with the Orianna.
Yeah, that's right.
Lots of utility already, because they have the Karma compounding the utility of the Orianna there might be too much for them.
That's right.
What do you
It's
think?
quite odd that you already showed your mid pick Antares. That's quite early, contrary to what usually would happen, where you maybe leave your mid pick, maybe the 4th or last. What do you think about that?
Seems like they really will be focusing on the mid lane here, banning out the Orianna as well. Also banning out the Gnar, which is sort of a soft counter to Vince's Fiora. That's going to be the Zac. Actually, not that surprising, because we have bans on Ivern, Kha'Zix, Elise, Gragas, Graves is taken away, Rengar is very popular now. Zac's actually very good.
They're really thinning out. They thinned out the jungle, and I think they did their they still did their homework on the top picks for the jungles for Raphael and both KRX. So yeah, you have a Rumble locked in and a Tahm Kench for UCC, and there you go. Vince's Fiora makes an appearance today. And apparently, like what we said earlier, Karma is apparently going to go mid.
Karma.
Wow.
Okay, so that's going to be the Tahm Kench actually being locked in as a support here for Leonardo. So that's going to be a lot of safety for that AD carry there. Already, Caitlyn very safe. Compound that with Tahm Kench able to just devour and get him out of dodge. Might be very effective, but I'm worried of it against the Nami. Because these two are fish. But it seems like the long range to sustain the poke that can come from Savvy might be more effective against Donatello.
That's right. Actually, it's great to pick a Tom Kench against this comp because you mentioned earlier damage is a big deal for the side of SLU. So Tom Kench gonna help a lot in that in those fights.
Very possible that the Tom Kench might have a lot of value gained from just devouring someone, being a good front line. And the threat of being devoured yourself and being displaced is actually so big if the Tom Kench gets to you.
Yeah, that's something that you forgot a lot of times. When you play against a Tom Kench, you kind of look at him and you say, you have to be careful. He's going to devour his AD carry. But you're forgetting he can also devour you if you're not careful and you don't notice that Tom Kench is going ham on you with his tongue.
Yeah, and also last week we did see, or rather in a lot of other games before, we saw how Tom Kench can be used in the bot lane just to help gank with your jungler. As we load in onto game 1 for today, it's going to be University of Caloocan City Ninja Turtles versus St. Louis University Deus Volt. Our first game of today. We're going to see how our players play their level 1s out.
That's right. So we see here SLU starting to move towards the top side of the map. And it's kind of great that they're not spotted yet, which is uncharacteristic. However, pings are going down, and
Michelangelo's not spotted. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, he's still relatively safe, but he has not spotted that yet.
Yeah,
and
they did spot him down.
Oh, they
so
did?
It pushes them out of the jungle.
Oh, there you go. And so they leave that ward out for safety, and that's gonna basically block a lot of aggression going in for SLU. So yeah, they start going into position right now. Creeps will start moving down the lanes very soon, and yeah, we'll have a relatively safe start to the game.
Yeah, it seems like it seems like UCC came out on top of this. I'd rather SLU came out on top of this because they were the ones who got the deep vision for the jungle.
That's right.
They get down that on the blue buff, meaning that of course they will know that Raphael will start at bot side.
Yeah, it's gonna be a difficult jungle. It's gonna be not so difficult. It's gonna be a pretty expected jungle path here for KRX because of that blue buff, and we see that KRX starts on the Raptors. Zac here again. We'll have to watch out for Zac as well. Very potent. It'll be very fun to watch in the jungle. Yeah,
lots of long range engage that he can bring out.
That's right. So that starts here for the top. We have small skirmishes there. And we see that Graves is actually opting to, he's moving at a slower pace compared to, or he's actually quite equal in pace compared to Zac here. And do you think that has any, was Graves recently nerfed? I think he was, right?
Base damages were nerfed, which kind of lowers his clear as well as lowers his ganking potential in terms of damage. But in terms of how healthy his clear is, I don't think it's changed at all.
Yeah.
As you can see, he did finish it much faster than KRX. But the thing here is the jungle pressure that he can bring out, because Zac has a lot of ganking path, much more than Raphael.
That's true. Zac, of course, he can go through a lot of paths that normal junglers can't usually do. Same goes true for Graves, but to maybe to a bit of a lesser degree.
Yeah, because his distance doesn't come with CC. That's the biggest thing.
The advantage of Zac that we're going to have here is the engage, of course, with the Elastic Slingshot. I hope that wasn't removed, though. There was a lot of changes done to Zac, right? Was Elastic Slingshot one of them?
Elastic Slingshot, you can actually extend the knockup now.
Oh, wow!
But the longer you charge it up, the longer the knockup is. But it will never be enough to allow you to insta-kidnap someone with Let's Bounce.
Yeah, I think Let's Bounce also has like a small delay towards it.
Yeah, it's 1.1 seconds.
Yeah, so it's not really like an insta-kidnap thing, like you said.
Yeah, you have to charge it up for 1.1 seconds. But the maximum knockup for Elastic Slingshot is 1 second, fully charged. So they had that really split-second chance to either flash out or use one of their abilities to blink out.
Yeah. On the other hand, it's also very visible because you see him going flat on the ground. You haven't seen Zac a lot because he was
disabled in the previous weeks.
Yeah.
But now it's been a week since it reworks. It is possible now. Going for a gank here. Oh, Might be
he will.
dangerous. Okay, a little bit too far.
Yeah.
Splinter a little bit too far.
Yeah, and they also have both. Splinter also has both his summoners up, so that's probably why KRX also hesitates on that. But he thinks he's going for it.
Okay, so that's gonna be the knockup against Splinter. The Scatter the Weak actually connects onto him. The shields onto Splinter, keeping him alive. That's gonna be his barrier. Ooh, Sliver of Hell.
Basically, Sliver of Health there, and great disengage from Karma.
Legolas still has the Piercing Light available, will not go for it.
And this is the power of Tahm Kench that we were talking about earlier. They went for a great trade, and the issue with that is, despite being Leonardo, he should be ahead of this. He's somehow below by 7 CS. So.
Yeah, it's like you have to consider it also that, of course, yeah, Donatello saved him there, but what could have other supports done? What could other supports have done there?
Well, yeah, Donatello was actually really healthy. I think he was kind of out of position for a trade, so that's why he wasn't able to tank as much as he should have for Leonardo there.
Yeah, it's like, imagine if he had another support with him, other popular supports. If they were opting for a tank frontline jungler, I'd rather support. Could have been even a Braum. Probably not a Leona, but a Braum would have defended from a lot of the damage Legolas and Savvy got to put out. And that means Leonardo could have put up a fight against Legolas instead of just being low and then having to get out of there.
Yeah, but it's actually quite early, so we'll have to see how Leonardo is going to work around that. Right now, on top.
Oh, he gets knocked up still, and I think Michelangelo's going to have to say goodbye as the first blood against him gets taken by KRX and Vince. And Vince.
Kidnap mechanics are real for KRX. If you saw that, that was actually no contest. He basically had nowhere to go with that. That was amazing, and we'll see a lot more of that here in the LCL.
Yeah, Michelangelo, even though he flashed, he didn't flash out of the range of the elastic slingshot. He really flashed backwards instead of sidewards diagonally. So that did cost him his life. And giving a kill to Vince is so bad, especially he's on his floor.
That's right. You don't want to get the Vince Fiora train rolling, because that is going to compound and make it harder for Michelangelo to stay alive in the game. So,
Raphael gonna try and equalize it there in the bot lane.
We have small flashes here. You can see Raphael going hard onto Savvy. Savvy forced the flash, and now they are going to disengage. That was great for Raphael, able to burn out a flash for both Savvy and Legolas. Heal also expended on that one.
Leonardo and Donatello did not need to expend their heals, flashes, and exhaust there. On the other hand, Savvy and Legolas might have a harder time because the item lead behind them between Leonardo and Legolas isn't too big. Ooh, Vince might be going for a kill here. He has his ultimate. The Grand Challenge is onto Michelangelo. He's going to have the heal onto him, but I don't think he has the power to just dive Michelangelo straight up. But it seems like he will be going for it. A little bit too dangerous. Now he's at half health. Michelangelo, sliver of health remaining. Raphael will be trying to go up there. A little too slow to the party, but still, very dangerous move from Vince. Having to use his flash as well.
Vince definitely going ham on Michelangelo here. That was a great one. That was semi-mediocre. What they call ultimate for Rumble, but he was able to get out of it. I don't think that was great that he also just stood there and he was able to burn a flash at least for Vince. Although that could have gone either way though.
Yeah, definitely. Too dangerous for Vince there. Oh man, that's going to be a lot of damage onto Leonardo, and he has no mana. He still has his flash and heal, so if things get rough, he can get out of dodge very easily, and he can sustain himself up with a Warlord's Bloodlust.
That's right. SLU here starting to get a small incremental lead in the bot lane and in the middle, actually basically all across the board. That's not something you see every day.
SLU definitely winning the lanes here. Raphael trying to gank a lot, but he did have a pretty successful gank there in the bot lane. But it did not really come to fruition into a gank compared to how KRX can hit, because KRX has a lot more kill potential. Raphael may have more damage, but KRX has the CC to lock him down, and Vince and Tares, they're the ones that need to do the damage, and they're doing it very well.
Raphael might actually take some time in order to beef himself up. You see that a lot in a lot of Graves matchups, Graves jungler matchup, where they will actually wait until level 7 or level 6 before they start ganking, and I think that took its toll on a lot of the UCC members, because you see that, you see right now, Graves, He's still at level 6. KRX already almost onto level 8, and that's going to make a big difference on these ganks.
Yeah, and KRX seems like he's going to try and make a sneaky lane gank here against Michelangelo. Vince, though, is doing a lot to telegraph the gank. Here comes Michelangelo. Oh my god, that's actually a lot of damage. A kidnap, let's bounce on him, confirms the kill onto Vince.
Woo! Kidnap mechanics there from KRX, as well as great manipulation of the vision. Using that vision ward to its fullest advantage, he was not aware at all. It is great that they were able to execute that really well, and we saw the kidnap mechanics again. That was so beautiful to
Let's
watch.
bounce. Because of the lockdown, the slows coming from Vince himself, plus the rest of KRX's kit, that basically guaranteed the Let's Bounce to just keep him away from the turret.
Yeah, props to KRX as well. Great rotation. And he is forcing the advantage that he has, and he knows that he has these advantages.
Savvy trying to go for some deep vision into the jungle, but Donatello does match it.
Yeah, he's going to recruit that Mountain Drake there for a bodyguard, and they're going to be relatively safe on the bottom lane.
Yeah, Drake is going to be a very big priority here. Mountain Drake. Mountain Drake onto Leonardo is going to make SLU's job with defending his turrets very hard. But Mountain Drake onto Legolas? Oh man, it's going to be a little fight between Legolas and Leonardo. A small firefight here. It's just a matter of time. Here comes the Tom Kench Abyssal Voyage, but it's much too late. Legolas already confirms the kill, but the collateral damage finishes him off. Here comes the teleport coming from Vince. This is going to be a 2v2 with supports and a top laner. I was going to see, seems like this teleport will not do much, but seems like Signals will be going for the Drake.
Yeah, UCC could have gotten a lot more there if they had positioned their Tom Kench ultimate a bit closer, because they took a while before they could reach the Caitlyn that was basically running away, and he had to use his ultimate, so they could have netted an Nami as well if they had positioned that teleport closer.
Yeah, that is one of the dangerous times to use Tom Kench ult. I do remember a game where UCC, Donatello, used the Tom Kench and was able to confirm it into advantages for his bot lane because he used it alongside his jungler to gank. But the thing is, it's quite dangerous because it leaves your AD carry alone and in danger.
That's true. And at this point of the game, you want to strive for safety, especially when you're a bit behind. UCC definitely a bit behind on the bot lane, but they can actually push forward if they can get those positions into the right places at the right time.
Yeah, because these are very... Ooh, KRX is going to try and go for another gank here. He's already half health, might be a little bit too dangerous. Savvy is away, he gets gobbled up. He does have his passive, has to use the Let's Bounce to knock away Donatello. He actually survives with a sliver of health. Savvy will just be the body blocking.
All right, Caitlyn was able to be blocked, and great safety for both these teams, playing and knowing where and when to aggro.
Seems like they are still going aggro. They know that Donatello doesn't have much impact here because he's a Tom Kench that's low health. He cannot go near. The only thing he can do is try and protect Leonardo with Devour.
Props to this Tom Kench for also, you know what we were talking about earlier.
Oh, Vin's going to go for another fight here in the top lane. The Grand Challenge, just one more vital will go down. Michelangelo fails his flash. Can only do anything. But
that was great for Vincent. Very clean and very smooth. He didn't even have to force a flash on himself, and his health was really great. That was almost...
Yeah, it's a little bit problem there was that he didn't hit the Elastic Slingshot, which is a bulk of KRX's damage. But the thing is, in terms of the itemization as well, Legolas having the two main components for the Blade of the Ruined King. On the other hand, Leonardo also has the BF Sword, so that's a little bit of a attack speed versus AD equation.
That's right, and in this regard, you might give a bit of an edge to damage if damage is in in a higher enough state. But at this point, you just want the I think Caitlyn just wants the damage so he can CS a little bit better.
Yeah, and Donatello doesn't contribute much in terms of damage compared to Savvy, who has Sustain, who has her own poke, and use a Tide College Blessing.
That's
so
right.
that might be one of the problems coming to that. Leonardo having a little bit of trouble. He is surviving in lane, though. That's the important thing.
You are starting to
here comes
move
Vince
around
trying
here.
to go against Splinter here, scaring him away from the Rift Herald. Here comes KRX. He wants blood. Splinter
And
gonna have to be pushed away. And they're still doing this in Rift Herald.
Yeah, almost there, 7k health. They are starting to get the Rift Herald in, but I don't think... Yeah, definitely UCC opting for the opposite objective, which is the Mountain Drake. And what do you think about that? Is that what you really want to go for at this
they
point?
reset the Mountain Drake because of the aggro. Oh, this is going to take forever. That is unlucky. Quote-unquote unlucky.
Yeah, that's going to take a while though, but SLU actually has the waves in a great position in order to, they can afford to do
man, that needs some time for Michelangelo to try and clean up. This is going to be KRX and Vince in a little bit of trouble. Will anyone be able to get the Eye of the Rift Herald? And unfortunately, that's going to be two of them cleaned up. Vince gets taken down.
UCC there with the great play. They really wanted to deny that Rift Herald, or at least SLU was gonna get it, but UCC wanted them to pay for it with their lives. Sorry, SLU.
Yeah, SLU made a huge mistake there. Here comes gonna be Antares and Savvy. Mid lane and support 2v2. Splinter gets exhausted, but the DPS coming from Donatello will be enough to confirm the kills. Now Savvy is in trouble, has to flash away from the Devar. Still gets gobbled up like chum, and that is just gonna be the alley-oop for Splinter for the Soul Flare.
Amazing Donatello here doing work on that Tom Kench. He's devouring people left and right and getting people in position for the kill. And he has been doing this consistently even in the bot lane earlier. So it's great play for the Tom Kench player. And he's able to get one kill even for that.
Yeah, 1-0 and 4. Definitely a good score for the support here. Roaming around the map much more effectively than Savvy. And the difference in boots here is that Savvy, of course, wants the Moby boots to roam around more, but Donatello benefits both from the roaming and actually being in combat because of the swiftness boots.
That's right, and I like how the bot lane duo has also trust in each other. Donatello was very confident that Leonardo was gonna be safe on that bot lane, even if he left him there for an extended period of time.
That's true. We're gonna see how all of that plays out, because now it's gonna be 5-5. The gold lead isn't too big, just 200 gold. But the thing is, the gold distribution is actually very important.
That's right. Itemization as well is going to be an issue.
Like the power spikes, because Legolas already has Blade of the Ruined King.
That's right.
But,
and how do you think that's going to transition? Do you think he's going to build like a lifesteal item first? Because on the patch notes, lifesteal items have been buffed very heavily.
But I think Leonardo will just go for the standard Zeal into the F-Sword into Infinity Edge. Might actually be the standard build here.
Or what about the Runan's Hurricane?
The Runan's Hurricane actually builds up more headshots, but that is also one of the better options. Gonna be Vince gonna go for a grand challenge against Michelangelo. Raphael is there for the support though. Now Vince taking the healing from the grand challenge might actually be enough. Taking a lot of healing by popping the vitals, but man, that is not going to be enough. Donatello in a little bit of trouble, has to pop the rough skin. The teleport will be coming from Michelangelo. After all, he did confirm the kill against Vince, but decides that, okay, we want this top lane turret.
Yeah, and wow, Rift Herald is gonna get summoned. I think they really want to go into this turret.
They want to trade objectives.
Very soon.
Look at that charge. Look at how much damage that deals. That is tasty.
That is gonna be a turret for sure, but don't forget that UCC is also pushing on the top turret right now. So that is just gonna be an exchange in global gold distribution.
This could actually be 2 pops of the Rift Herald, because now it's only Raphael and Michelangelo recalling. KRX threatening Donatello away with a elastic slingshot.
Basically, we have 2 people here, 2 forms of flight here with the Rift Herald and KRX, but they're going to opt to back out right now.
Yeah, not the best use they could have gotten from that, but they were able to. It was a rough decision, you know, that they had to use that to try and trade objectives, because Vince there, quite overconfident with his 2 kills, gives away another to Michelangelo.
That's right. UCC was able. They were actually able to defend that bot lane for an extended period of time. That's why SLU was actually forced to use it right away on the first turret.
Seems like that was what occurred. We're going to see how all of them respond here, because now the only real objective here is the mid lane. The mid lane turret will give these teams a lot of map control. Just open up the map for themselves. So I expect a lot of these fights, a lot of KRX and Raphael's attention to go to that mid lane.
Speaking of mid lane, how do you think the itemization went here for Karma? Because at first he was opting for supportive items like the Crucible and, the Ardent Sensor and the Fiends. But now he's going a lot on AP, and the lead for the kill is actually helping with that.
I think he's satisfied with the Ardent Sensor. Won't need to go for the Redemption. That's going to be Donatello's job later. He is building into that. I think he needs the BFs, the needlessly large rod items, the big
That's
AP items to keep up. Because after all, the AP gives him a bigger shield, more heals for himself, as well as the damage to Soldier is actually substantial. And he's 3-0-1, so he has the room, he has the right to build more offensively.
Naturally, he also needs that AP because the shield, like you said, will also add to the shield of your teammates. So that's the basic effect that AP is going to have on Karma, and that's what they're going for. They really want to support.
Oh, Vince might be in a little bit of trouble here. He does pop the Grand Challenge. He is dealing a lot of true damage. Now he's healed up. The tables have turned. The Duelist actually wins this fight. Equalizer does not do much against a mobile Duelist.
Yeah, Vince there going ham again on Michelangelo. Michelangelo a bit late on that Equalizer. He could have maybe popped that in earlier when Vince was starting to engage on it.
This does give the Cloud Drake on the SLU because there is no threat of a teleport or the Equalizer. It is just a Cloud Drake, so no need to panic. Raphael might want to take this away, though. He does have the opportunity. Does not have Smite for this one. It's just going to have to be the collateral damage.
This is more of a responsive play here from UCC, because before they started that, there was actually no wards at all, and they only, I think they just guessed that they were going for Drake because people were missing on the map. So UCC
missing from the map, plus Michelangelo was dead.
Yeah, that's right. So UCC might definitely want to push their ward lines up a bit right now. I think one hand.
Oh man, does not connect with a stretching strike. Yeah, he was really waiting for Splinter to slip up, and then have the stretching strikes just collide and pull him back in.
I wish there was a way where you could stretching strike an enemy and maybe your teammate and pull them together. That's gonna be a fun interaction, right?
That's not in Riot's design philosophy. I don't think Riot would design it like that. Other developers would design it like that, but I don't think Riot would.
Yeah. That might sound fun for some, but I don't know. Definitely, Riot obviously wants balance. Okay, so yeah, just small warding here, and they're gonna start. I think they heard me. They're gonna start moving up the ward line here, but SLU definitely doing their best to deny that.
We're gonna see how all that, because as I said, the mid lane will now be the the focus of these two teams.
Yeah,
they definitely want the map control.
Yeah, right now Zach, I think he was left by Karma there earlier. That was really funny. It's like Zach was trying to go hard on Karma, and he was like, "No, don't leave me."
Oh, it seems like Vince trying to threaten Leonardo out of the bot lane. That is, man. That is going to be a very threatening bot lane there, because he doesn't have a lot of damage, a lot of wave clear, but now it's going to be the mid lane under siege here from UCC.
Okay, UCC here is now starting to go on the offensive, and I think SLU is having a harder time than they should, because earlier mid lane was actually really out of contest.
And because Splinter is so ahead, the wave clear is so on point for them. They have a lot of ways to just clear the waves, and they don't need Leonardo here just yet, because they have another 80 carry in their arms here.
Yeah. SLU, I think, wants to engage.
Yeah, that's going to be the stretching strike from KRX. But the Equalizer will be put down. That's dealing a lot of damage, as Tyrus and Legolas are zoned away. There's going to be a teleport from Vince to try and help, but that's actually 3 members already low. KRX tries to go in. He does have the Cell Division ready, but that's going to be Donatello. Leonardo now in the fight. It's going to be much harder for SLU. Vince is surrounded by his enemies. And now it's going to be Leonardo finishing him off. KRX cannot live that with the ace in the hole.
Oh my god! UCC has the ace, and that was a very beautiful equalizer. If you saw the setup that Michelangelo did, he did cost him his life, but you can see there an ace right off the bat at
so much
23
AoE
minutes.
damage from the Graves, from the Karma, from the Rumble, and that equalizer was so good.
And you know what was more impressive about that? It was under the tower.
Yeah.
They were fighting under the tower that whole time.
That was like 4v5 for 4v4 and then 4v5 for. Seems like UCC will be transitioning that into this barrier. Baron.
Okay, we have your UCC.
Very bold.
Catching up on the objectives. They are pushing for objectives a lot here. SLU was great at controlling Red Carol earlier, but right now, Baron going over to UCC. No contest whatsoever.
Yeah, there's so much control given by that equalizer. Let's see how all of that happened here. There was a very bad tidal wave, but
yeah. Initially, KRX wanted to engage, and that was a great idea, but what he didn't see is that the rest of the backline very low because of that equalizer, and that is why the rest of that match went the way it was. Vince here a bit late on the teleports. The rest of your team was not really in position, and now you have an Exhaust. Exhaust was actually a reserve for Vince. They knew he was going to go in.
I really love that equalizer because it accomplished two things. One, it really got their backline low, and two, it zoned them away from the main chunk of the fight.
Exactly. They were not able to do anything after KRX started that engage, so medyo na useless yung engage ni KRX.
Yeah, his elastic slingshot did not hit. He was not in a position to use Let's Bounce to its full potential.
That's right.
So they should have just given that up.
This really fun.
Leonardo. We'll see if he makes it Uzi, but Splinter is here to help him out. So Vince will have to wait for the rest of his teammates to get the pincer attack, but that is a huge objective with a mountain break onto them, but that is going to be Leonardo. The source of the attack, the Redemption is put down to heal him up. The Kidnap actually puts him away from the Redemption's range. Splinter tried to shield himself, but the shutdown is taken by KRX. Now Raphael on the run, but Vince is a relentless pursuer. Actually finishes him off.
Yeah,
3
SLU.
Baron buffs gone in a flash.
Darn, that's 3 for 0 in favor of SLU. Galit na galit ng SLU. They really want the revenge for that Baron that was taken from them. Although Michelangelo is on top, pushing forward, and that's great wave management overall for UCC. Although SLU is definitely making their point here.
Yeah, it's the biggest thing there was UCC did not check the side pressure.
Right.
They didn't need the base check. Even a trap would have revealed that Vince was waiting in the wings. And you should respect the KRX long-range engage.
That's right.
Because even if you have vision around the immediate area, that's not enough against Zac.
That's right. You can be anywhere in the map.
Being debated by Zac actually happened as well in 2016 Rampage VGS Finals, where IPT was not respecting the range of the elastic slingshot, which allowed them to be engaged on by AEX with this long-range elastic slingshot. And it's happening here in UCC, but here comes the equalizer. Not really a lot of value, and then he gets instantly taken down. KRX now on the run, but the Infernal Drake is now divided. It's still going to be a 4v5, but KRX is very low. It actually goes onto UCC. Now KRX and Antares on the run. Antares has to hover away. The collateral damage not enough, but he dodges away from the Soul Flare. Now it's going to be the color. Oh, here comes Raphael and Donatello with Abyssal Voyage, allowing them to get in, and now Legolas is gobbled up. Gets instantly taken down with Splinter. That
was amazing teamwork there. You saw that Donatello definitely spit the Lucian into the trap. That's one mechanic that summoners can actually learn. Yeah, if you lane with a Tahm Kench, your Caitlyn, have the Tahm Kench spit out the enemy into the trap.
Going into that was so good. Like Michelangelo's equalizer was optimal.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes Vince though. He's in the front of everyone. The tidal wave is put down to push him off. Not a lot of value gained from that. That is going to be the turret taken down with their Mountain Drake and Infernal Drake really helping them out here. That will be the inhibitor, the first inhibitor of the game onto UCC. Lots of map control, lots of pressure in the mid lane.
That's right, and that translates from UCC's ability to control objectives. As you can see there, Mountain Drake, Infernal Drake, that all help. And right now, you can see a replay here. Donatello, great engage onto the back line, and that definitely defaulted onto how they were able to get most out of SLU. Great micro as well. As you can see there, UCC definitely showing up in this game.
Yeah, and I think they're really underestimating Donatello. It's like both of these teams seem to be underestimating the potential of the champions of the other team. KRX's long-range elastic slingshot not respected enough, which caused UCC to lose a little bit earlier. But now, SLU does not respect the ability of Donatello to just make these long-range travel with
That's
someone
right.
else, and that allowed Raphael to catch up and get those kills.
And I think that's how, that's one thing that you have to keep in consideration. These supports are going to be everywhere on the map.
Especially Donatello.
Exactly. Although KRX is one of those people that are going to be everywhere on the map as well, you cannot slack off on vision on either side. On either UCC side or SLU side, you cannot slack off on vision, and that's something that you will have to keep in consideration, especially on the late games where a lot of the towers are already down.
Seems like Michelangelo will want to go for this. It might be it might be very dangerous because he is going to be alone split pushing. His team has not convened in a mid lane or top lane to try and pressure. I think UCC should go for the top lane instead, like for a 4-0-1 split here. Might be effective because there's no more objective in the mid lane.
Yeah, because I think UCC will have a better advantage if they start moving as a group at this point, because death timers at around 30 minutes, it's really deadly.
Definitely. So what happens if someone dies early, even with a teleport play coming from Michelangelo, might be dangerous. So they actually do call that because Michelangelo knows that he cannot face up against Vince.
That's right.
So they end up just grouping. But it's very dangerous because Vince is already at the inhibitor turret. We're going to see if UCC pulls the trigger here to try. And it's just the equalizer put down. Savvy already very low. That's going to be the redemption to try and just pop up their health and zone away SLU. So now it's going to be Vince versus the rest of UCC pushing this top lane turret. And Leonardo, or rather, Leonardo just wailing on this inhibitor. It seems like Vince is just alone, not enough firepower to match the speed of UCC. Seems like UCC might even just opt to finish off the game here. Or even just take down these inhibitors and Nexus turrets.
Yeah, Vince, galit na galit. He really wants to take these fights. He is not going to take UCC's oppression lightly. They're going to fight under
it's
the
a base
tower.
race. It's going to be Michelangelo trying to take out Legolas. On the meantime, Raphael and Leonardo having some time there on the turret. It's going to be a base race. That is going to be the search and win code for all of you. Just fill that out. But the team fight is happening right here, right now. KRX going to try and push away the rest of UCC, but the Nexus is exposed. 80 carry still up for SLU, but this might be possible. The shields might not be enough. We don't. It's going to be just a little bit of help for the Nexus. Who will get this? It seems like UCC will win the base race with Vince not fast enough, even with his Hydra, even with all the wave clear he has. 5 members wailing onto the Nexus was better than the distraction that SLU put up.
Ooh, Vince going ham on that. Grabe, he was doing the Nexus all by himself. He did the tower all by himself. He really wanted a win, and actually it could have went either way. If one member of UCC actually just fell and was out of position, that could have gone SLU's way.
The biggest problem there was they ignored UCC's composition.
That's right.
They should have already seen, okay. Even when we're not engaging, they're taking the turrets, they're taking the inhibitor because the Caitlyn.
That's right.
The Caitlyn has the Ardent Sensor shield onto him, so the attack speed, the damage, the Mountain Drake, and Inferno Drake. Vince should have realized that he can't match the 5-man push on top lane. So he should have teleported and helped his team out because there was no chance for SLU to counter-engage that 4v5.
That's right. I think, and we'll see here on the screen here, we have a great, not so much of a one-sided match.
Yeah, definitely not one-sided.
Yeah.
Of course, Michelangelo is really bad KDA, 174, but his equalizers were pretty on point later in the game.
Yeah, those were great equalizers. I could count maybe 3 or 4 times that equalizer zoned everyone out.
Wow, Splinter actually outdamages Leonardo and their top laner.
How do you do that? Karma support?
Yeah, the Karma mid lane.
That's amazing.
He got ahead
right?
early.
Oh yeah, that was great.
He got ahead early. The Soul Flare actually deals a lot of damage.
It's super uncharacteristic of Karma to to outdamage a Syndra. Wow.
Yeah, that's all because of the macro play, the decision making at the end there.
That's correct.
I really think Vince should have teleported to Steam once he realized that there was no way that they could delay it.
Those were 5 members that had Mountain Drakes and
plus one of them was
Inferno
Caitlyn.
Drakes. Exactly.
Could
Base
just
damage so
yeah.
high. He was like walking around and shooting at it. So you really needed backup, and well, that happened, and I think UCC is going to be happy with that win.
Already taking away any chance of SLU to get into semifinals.
That's right. So I guess we have 2 teams here that are going to be playing
it's still very low. That would mean
I think they still can.
They still can, but UPT has to have 2 0-2s, and then
Come on.
DLSUD will have to have 0-2 against their game.
These top tier
Which is
tiers?
impossible.
Come on.
No, no,
Wait,
it's impossible. It's
not-
definitely impossible because they're sitting at 1 point right now. So what we need to both DLSU and UPD have to have the rest of the games 0-2, and that's
A zero-
impossible because it's gonna be DLSUD and UPD later. So of
Oh yeah,
course,
that's true. That's
So yeah,
one of them has to have one win.
Yeah.
So
so yeah.
that's gonna be a match. That's gonna be a wrap up for this game for SLU, and there's gonna be a win for UCC. So both teams are gonna be what? They're gonna be a bit laid back now.
Yeah, they're gonna be, the pressure's all up.
Yeah, all off for them.
all off for them now. Of course, we'll see how all of that pressure being off of them culminates into the next game between UCC and SLU. Of course, we have been your shoutcasters for this game. I'm Atlas, and with me is Rockhard. Just stay tuned for the next game.
SLU, I think, wants to engage.
Yeah, that's going to be the strike from KRX. But the equalizer will be put down. That's dealing a lot of damage as Tyrus and Legolas are zoned away. There's going to be a teleport from Vince to try and help, but that's actually 3 members already low. KRX tries to go in. He does have the subdivision ready, but that's going to be Donatello. Leonardo now in the fight. It's going to be much harder for SLU. Vince is surrounded by his enemies. Now it's going to be Leonardo finishing him off. KRX cannot live that. Win the ace of the old.
Oh my God! UCC has
Redemption
it.
is put down to heal him up. The kidnap actually puts him away from the Redemption's range. Splinter tried to shield himself, but shut down. Escape taken by KRX. Now Raphael on the run, but Vince is a relentless pursuer. It's going to be Michelangelo trying to take out Legolas. On the meantime, Raphael and Leonardo having some time there on the turret. It's going to be a basic. That is going to be the search and win code for all of you. Just fill that out. But the team fight is happening right here, right now. KRX going to try and push away the rest of UCC, but the Nexus is exposed. Maybe carry's still up for SLU, but this might be possible. The shields might not be enough. It's going to be just a little bit of help for the Nexus. Who will get this? It seems like UCC will win the base race with Vince not fast enough, even with his Hydra, even with all the wave clear he has. 5 members wailing on to the next.
Not enough Garena shells to buy the latest League of Legends skin? On sale now? Get shells anytime, anywhere with your Globe or Touch mobile number. Go to gamer.com.ph and sign up with your mobile number and enter the verification code you will receive via SMS. Log in and choose the game and pin you want. Check out to purchase the pin with your load or through your postpaid account and receive the pin on your phone instantly. Never miss a sale on your favorite League of Legends skins and champions with Gamer.